The Premier is in favor of mining and logging in the north, and that's his only, basically his only source of jobs is mining and logging for the north. He's talking about four-laning a highway when we know for full well that the four lanes are going to make things worse, more traffic, more accidents. And the First Nations that are signing on are most likely and most likely sellout First Nations that are willing to take money over their environment. They would rather have the money than their environment. So they sold out to the government and signed on to the deal with the Ford government. Basically, Arrowland First Nation was against it, and now I guess they're willing to accept a little bit of money. And meanwhile, their environment will be destroyed, but they don't seem to care, obviously. Mr. Ford likes to use this Minister Rickford, this guy right there, as his talking piece person that gets out there to talk for him. This government is basically just full of hogwash. Instead of investing in green energy and stuff to protect our environment, they're willing to extract and sell globally. It seems to be their only option in their mind is to extract and sell globally instead of investing in protecting what we have left in our north. And see, he keeps on saying, like, you know, he's making progress on the Ring of Fire, but he never seems to mention the effects of the Ring of Fire that will have on our environment and our children's future for future generations. Also, he's failing to mention that there is a lot of First Nations that stand directly against these mining projects in their communities in the far north and remote communities, especially near Long Lac, Ontario, where I lived for 10 years. There's a lot of stress and a lot of problems that are in the north in terms of clashes, cultural clashes, because in Long Lac, it's situated in between two reserves. So you're in a battle between French and Native, and if you're English and you can't speak French, you're the odd one out, as well as if you're Native and you're not French, you're the odd one out, because most of the French people are heavily invested into mining and logging, and you're seen as a threat to them if you stand against their mining and logging and big industry. So there's a cultural clash that's going on in that community, and it's not a new one. It's been going on since Oka and Kanawage. It's been going on for a long time, this conflict. And you know, it's a nice place to visit, but it's not really a great place to live. I was burned out because I stood directly against the mining and logging projects in the far north. You know, all I was saying was that we should switch to hemp and have hemp paper and switch our industries, our paper industry over to hemp and have the paper company switch to hemp. But I was burned out of my house because I stood against those projects. And I was very vocal, a very vocal activist within the community. The racism that goes on in Long Lac against the Native people is atrocious, and it's been going on for a long time, not a new thing. Like I said, since Oka, and even before that. The people in the trailer park and in the reserves live really hard. There's some people in Long Lac that live hard, but the people on reserve live the hardest. And, you know, the people in Long Lac seem to like to make fun of everybody that's poor and middle class. The rich that are in Long Lac do anyway. While I lived in Long Lac, I had no heat. For the first couple years in 2011, we had a furnace. After that was wood heat. So a lot of the people in Long Lac enjoy the luxury of natural gas, but you know, the first year or so after, you know, for the first year I was there, we enjoyed natural gas. After that, there was all wood, cutting wood for heat. This seems new. This wasn't there when I was there. You know, they complain about a drug problem up there, and there is a drug problem up there, but the pharmacies are also playing a role in that drug problem. See, and this is where we reach a problem right here. Geraldton to Long Lac, $50. Geraldton to Thunder Bay, $500 in a cab through G-Town Taxi. And that's not a good thing. Like they're saying, like, that's great. It's not great. That's really expensive. This is the grocery store that's in Long Lac. Now we have this same grocery store in Belmont. It's pretty much the same grocery store. It's a Fresh Mart, just like Long Lac. Things have changed here because it's not run by the same owners as when I was there. But when I was there, it was pretty expensive. But I've heard the prices have come down a little bit, but not by much. But we've had problems with the Harper government as well as now the Trudeau government with food costs. So basically what happened with my house was somebody went from the back of it and torched it. It's quite obvious. But the OPP didn't want to really investigate too much. The fire marshal told me that there was footprints in the back of here because it happened in the wintertime. So somebody went from the back of the property and burned it from the back. These people here made an offer to buy the property before I left. So that's why I suspect that they had something to do with my house burning, as well as they took photographs when my house was burning and posted it to their personal Facebook page. I know this is 2 years ago. I know this is a while ago, but this also makes sense to me too because the neighbor was a firefighter, and so it would make sense that he would go and start a fire to try to respond to the scene to get paid. Also happened again in 2010, where they got caught starting fires. The firefighters did. See again here, they're getting charged for setting fires. There was no cause, I guess, in this one either. They didn't investigate this very good either. And this was in Geraldton. This here was in 1980, the day after my birthday. That happened. And then you can see, the fires keep happening. So I think that this needs to be investigated really badly. They're really badly crooked, and there's corruption going on within this and also their city hall. Problem is in Long Lac, everybody praises these people, but they never look into the corruption that goes on because they like to pretend it's not happening. There's like whole sites, pages that are set up because people are pissed off with what's going on with the city and the fire department. Here they are trying to praise Doug Ford with their battalion of firefighters or whatever. No mention of hemp fuel, just electric vehicles. And they're using the Ford government to springboard their fire department. Even right here, they're admitting that they have people that are posing as firefighters and they're not even firefighters. Isn't that weird? Yeah, here you go. $2.5 million for fire trucks because they work with the Ford government. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have new fire trucks, but at the same time, $2.5 million fire trucks? Sounds like there's people making money off of all this stuff. I think the French people seem to forget if it wasn't for the native people, they wouldn't have survived in Northern Ontario when they immigrated there. No, actually, the world is watching the North get extracted to death, and it's eventually going to be a very polluted wasteland because the people in the North choose wealth, mineral wealth, and extraction over protecting their own wildlife, and they sit there and claim that they're for the North and they're for wildlife. Meanwhile, they're really busy destroying it for a couple of bucks. And this page, this Facebook page, is very biased and is 100% conservative and rude and ignorant and racist, all rolled into one. They like to try to play that they're like a courthouse media. They're trying to play like they're, for everybody. Meanwhile, they're for a select amount of white people. Really for the investors and the industry people that are in the North. That's who they back, as well as the Conservative Party. If you notice, most of their posts are all anti-Native people. They never go after the rich white people. They are the ones that are importing the guns and the drugs to the north of Ontario. See, as you can see, they're backing their leader, Pierre Poilievre. They're also backing the OPP, a provincial police force that is 100% backed by the Crown, that are no good police force. They basically don't investigate anything properly. They're a biased police force. They're pro-rich people and anti-poor people. Isn't it interesting how they only go after the middle class, and it's never the junky politicians? One being Doug Ford. I don't know, Doug Ford, the fucking drug dealer. Yeah, the drug dealer that's making contract deals with his buddies for the North. Yeah, you never go after those people. It's always the poor, broke, middle class person that they go after. And if you notice, they always like to attack the CBC, but they are also taxpayer funded. This page is also taxpayer funded. And you'll see a lot of this garbage too. This is just straight up fucking garbage. That they actually worship the fucking veterans and the military of this country that are total murderers. They're going around the globe, country to country, destroying it. And then we're all supposed to say that they fought for our freedom. They didn't fight for my freedom at all. These people are cowards with weapons. They can't fight unless they have a weapon. And it's interesting to see the native people actually start to worship the people that actually colonized them a long time ago, which is really weird to me, to see that they'll actually pick up a Bible and start to worship the Bible. Meanwhile, that was used to colonize them long ago. And actually, I am 32 years old, and I don't ride on the road either. I ride on the sidewalk because it's a lot safer. So actually, Jagmeet Singh is not breaking the rules. The people that are breaking the rules are the people that are driving on the road and not in bike lanes. And it's not safe to ride in the middle of the road. So fuck you and your bullshit ride on the fucking road lingoism. That's bullshit. Your parents taught you bullshit when you were growing up, that it was safer to ride on the road. So a big message to these people is fuck you. Fuck you and your conservative bullshit website. Yeah, it's run by conservative, privatization-loving, privately run fucking goofs that love to be racist and that are pro-conservative, probably raised by 1930s wife and children beaters. You don't own the North. You're not a protector of the North. So fuck off.